we have a lot to talk about because you have been so busy, incredibly busy. We got a lot to discuss. So I want to talk about Bingo Hell
Let's
first.
do it.
Interviewed,
My son?
yes,
Oh, Joshua Caleb
Joshua. I
Johnson.
wanted to say
Oh,
Justin, and I knew it wasn't right.
yeah,
Yeah,
you were close.
Joshua.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
awesome, isn't he?
beautiful young man, so well spoken.
So talented. Yeah. You
Yes,
feel like you're
yeah,
talking to an adult and you forget he's 16.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, so, how was it like working with him? And I said to him that he was probably the youngest person on that entire set.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
if that's the case, you were probably the second youngest. So, what was that experience like for you?
Oh my gosh. You know, I think you're right. I think I was the second youngest. I didn't stop to really think about that, but it was such an incredible experience because I was with these incredible veteran actors and actresses who have done such amazing work. And it was just this really exciting place for me to be in, to just get to be with all of these people, because it was almost like summer camp. It was before vaccines. We were very much on lockdown, like all in the same hotel.
Oh gosh.
So I really got to spend a lot of time with everyone, and it's just incredible to see how everyone's stories kind of led them to where they are. And then when you all get to work on something together, it's a really special thing. And it was cool because on one, I was playing a lot of different roles. I was someone's daughter-in-law and I was someone's mother, and I am also someone's daughter and someone's mother. And so it was cool to kind of see how I could have fun and express myself as Raquel in this world. And every time we would yell cut after I'd have a scene with Joshua, I'd be like, I promise I'm a good mom in real life. Like, I don't know, this isn't any reflection on me as a mother. He's like, it's okay, it's all good.
You worry about being a good mom, right? So
Yeah.
even when you portray not such a great one on
Yeah,
TV
just checking
or
in
a
on
movie.
my pretend son every now and then.
Yeah, there you go. So when you read the script, what were your first impressions of it?
I loved it. I immediately said, "I've never seen anything like this." And
Yeah.
and I think that that is always really exciting. I think sometimes where we feel like a lot of reboots are happening and a lot of similar stories are getting redone, it's always refreshing to read something new. And I think this was that. And I was so excited that I got to be a part of it. For
Yeah,
that factor alone, on top of it being such an incredible character, I think Raquel, it's very easy to sort of pigeonhole her into, oh, well, that's just this mean character, that's just like mean to everybody. But I think those characters who can easily just get put into a certain camp are really exciting for me as an actress to dig into, because there's so many layers,
yeah.
to why someone reacts that way. What is her backstory? Where is the root of all of this coming from? So I think that that was something that was really exciting for me.
Yeah, even though she didn't spend a lot of time on screen, I feel like there probably was more to her story. I felt that we didn't get to explore in this uh in this film, but maybe they'll figure out a way to bring her back or
Yeah,
something.
she just won't have any skin on, but
No, no, not at all. What was
That
that like doing that?
oh, that was so fun. It was I really love prosthetics. I think that it's super creative
Mm,
when things are done practically, in camera or with prosthetics. And I just think it's such a creative way to get to like live in this world. So we did that was like a big gag. So there was like a lot of rehearsals. There were a lot of different
yeah,
skin molds. There was a lot of different blood. There was a lot of different things that went into kind of making that actually happen. And I was actually peeling off like layers of skin, not my own, but hopefully it looked like it was my own. And it was intense. It was intense. It's
yeah.
your body is in that state and you're emotionally in that state. And so that was just high level intensity. And fun. I like playing in those worlds of blood and guts.
I have to say I did turn away, like, I covered my
Yeah.
eyes because it was like, oh,
I
it was
don't think
really
you're alone. I don't think you're alone. There I was, like, leaning closer, like, "Ooh, give me more." I love
so
that
from
stuff.
yeah, so from the script to what the finished product, did it turn out the way you thought it was going to?
I think better,
Better.
it's so interesting, and I'm a filmmaker as well, so
Right.
things are so different, it just evolves along the process. You see it on a page and you bring it up from the page, and then you're working with I got to working with Gigi, the director, and the
Mm.
producers, Rainer and Lauren. Everybody was just so incredibly collaborative and really helpful in me just like finding that character and really
Oh,
helping kind of rein her in, or not. I don't know if rein her in is the right word because she's not very reined in, but
no.
finding her right. And so you see it on the page and then you're doing it on the day, and then to see it when it all comes out is this whole other experience. It's like
Yeah.
she grows up along the way.
She kinda does, and then, I mean, the bottom line of this whole movie is, money is the root of all evil kinda thing with
Yes.
other factors thrown in, so I thought it was really interesting. I loved all the characters. I thought what a great cast this really was.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, you are a filmmaker as well, and you co-wrote a film called Shapeless
Yes.
about eating disorders and your how much of your personal experience went into the script itself.
Great question. So I had this idea for this film Shapeless 11 years ago when I was in treatment for bulimia. And I was really seeking something. I was
Mm,
seeking a film, a book, art, something that really told of the true experience and the authenticity of what it feels like to be trapped in this mental illness. And I felt like I came
mm,
up short. I felt like the films that I found anytime that it expressed eating disorders, it was either like the punchline of a joke or very skimmed the surface, or maybe it was like an after school special where everybody got fixed and it was all better. And I just didn't really feel like anything spoke to the experience of it. And years and years went by, life happens, and I'm a professional actress, as you know. We just talked about that, but I was doing that and I'd never really written anything before. So I finally just got some things out on paper, and that's when I finally linked up with the director, Samantha Aldana. We had known each other in the New Orleans film community, and
mm.
through that process of development, we added Bryce Parsons Tweston, the co-writer, and it was as I started to collaborate and like speak about my authentic experience, I felt my shame lessen. And a lot of that script very much is from my own personal experience. And I produced the film as well and starred in it, as hopefully you'll see the film one day. And it's so beautiful to look at it now to see how it's evolved. It very much was like birthed from me, but it became better and better as like more people who are masters at their craft to join in and play in the sandbox with you. But it's a very dark film. It's a very experiential film because this is a complicated thing to describe. It's a complicated um just world to really describe to someone that
Mm.
this, body dysmorphia and eating disorder, bulimia, mental illness. And so kind of felt that verbally, it's not necessarily like spoken about in dialogue, but I wanted it to feel like you're kind of trapped in that illness. So I think
Right.
that's what it feels like. It's very visceral is maybe the word I would describe it. But we opened at Tribeca in June.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're about to have our international premiere in London in November at Rain Dance Film Festival as well.
Fantastic. Was the process and the final product cathartic for you, or was digging up all of those emotions in a sense traumatic, like living through some of it again?
I think ultimately cathartic. I think some things were absolutely terrifying at first, and one of them was singing again because I the film is about a singer who is losing the ability to sing, and that actually happened to me. And,
Wow.
and so much of it was emotional and spiritual, I think, as far as like and physical too. I had physically
Mm.
damaged my vocal cords, but I had actually stopped singing for many years because of the shame, because I was
Wow.
afraid to look at it. And in the pre-production process of making this film, it got to the point where it was like, okay, well, now it's time to sing again. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Who's making me do this? You? Okay. And I linked up with a vocal therapist, Caroline Formy, who is an incredible actress as well, friend from New Orleans. And she just really helped me find the ability to sing again, to not be
Mhm.
blocked in my own head of like, oh, I can't really do this anymore, because there was a lot of shame that I still hadn't really healed. So it was very cathartic, but I think I think about this a lot when it comes to like healing and mental illness and getting help. And I think so much of it comes from finally feeling safe enough to look at those things that feel really scary to look at. And then hopefully maybe finding people that aren't judgmental, that are curious and kind and are able to talk to you about it. So I was so blessed with having those people, because yes, we were talking about it for the sake of filmmaking and for the sake of acting and what does this feel like in this experience and what does this look like. And I watched as I actually spoke and released, I felt my shame lessen. So I hope that in my experience I can open some bridge or some door for someone to say, oh, it's hard for me to talk about this, but that movie, that's what it feels like, to
Yeah.
normalize the conversation.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen a film a few years ago, Words on Bathroom Walls was
No, no, I
an
haven't seen it.
adaptation of a book, and it's about a young boy or a boy, teenager with schizophrenia. And what I found interesting about the film was that to me it was a visual representation of what was going on mentally for this young man. And I
Yes.
kind of feel like Shapeless, in a sense, again, is that visual representation to try and help others to understand it and kind of demystify it a little bit. Do you feel that that's what ended up happening? And is that what you wanted for people to see?
Absolutely. First of all, I have to see this film.
Yeah, you
Work
do.
on a bath on the bathroom wall, you said?
Words
So
on Bathroom Walls.
I think yes, that was ultimately my vision, and I think it has lived above and beyond, because I think that's the beauty of film and the representation of film, because of the experience of the visual experience, sound. There's so many different elements that can go into creating a feeling, which I think
Mhm.
sometimes can't really be expressed verbally. It's just you feel it in your body and you think, oh, is that what it feels like? And I think that's what we've done here. And there's a lot of I'm going to go back to practical effects. Most of our effects are practically done.
Mhm.
There's a body horror element to
Yeah.
my character as well, and everything was done with this incredible special effects makeup artist Meg Wilbur, who's like half mad scientist, half witch. Like, it's so cool to watch her work and watch her magic. And I think that was always at the root of it, because there was always that question of like, how much is too much to say? How much is too much to
Mm.
show? How can we
Okay.
just kind of express this in the way that we want to without necessarily turning it into an after school special or something like
Yeah.
that. So I think
It's
that's what we've done. And those are my favorite types of genre films, truly, where it's almost, and going back to Bingo Hell, it's like the true horror of greed, right?
yes.
That's the true horror. And this Shapeless is kind of like the true horror of an eating disorder told through film.
Yeah. And I think for people who know someone who suffers from this eating disorder or any eating disorder, or someone who has a family member or such, I think it it's a helpful thing for them to it almost makes it tangible
Yeah.
in a
Yes.
sense. So I, whatever process you had to go through, I think this is going to be a really important film for a lot of people. So
Thank
congratulations,
you.
good luck with it, and
Thank
hopefully we'll be
you.
hearing more about it in the future. But
Yes, thank
let's get a
you.
little more lighthearted now.
Sure.
I want to talk about writing a children's book. Did you just sit down one day and say, I'm going to write a kid's book? Or
I love
where did
it.
the idea come from? Zoo
Sure.
Crew.
Yes,
They're very interesting
Zoo Krewe. I
spelling.
have it right here. I can
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Zoo Krewe with a
Awesome.
Krewe. So
Yeah.
it's in New Orleans. It's inspired by New Orleans and Louisiana. I'm from that area, and
Hmm.
my daughter, I'm a mother, she's 4
Ah,
now, but when my daughter
ah,
was about a little younger than 2, we were living in New Orleans, and I love children's books. I've always loved children's books. I just think they're awesome. And I was trying to get her some local books, and again, I felt like there was like a lack of books for children that were kind of aged 0 to 3. It was almost like
hmm.
these books were for kids that were a little older, and um it was a little too long for her. And I thought, like, oh gosh, we need more books for kids that are younger than 3. And I just one day first thought of the title, Zoo Crew, and I was like, okay, that's a great title. Someone must have already used it. I mean, it's so good. And
Yeah.
I did a Google search and I couldn't find any book called Zoo Crew. So I was like, well, I got to write
Awesome.
this book, I guess. And I don't know, it just all kind of it came about pretty quickly, like the creative process of actually writing it. And then I Samantha Aldana, the director of Shapeless, is an incredible visual artist, also a
Oh.
children's book illustrator. And I was like, well, I'm already collaborating with her for Shapeless. Like, what else you got going on? You want to do a kid's book while we're at it? So it was kind of like we were kind of like playing in this dark sandbox over here, and this was like the light sandbox over here. And she's just incredible. And the illustrations are super cute. And it's taken a couple years for it to like actually go through the publishing experience and all of that. But now it is out and it's available for purchase. And here we
Yes.
are.
Yes, and I know it's available on Amazon because
It
I
is. Available on
yeah.
Amazon. Crew is Krewe, and it's a
Love
play
it.
on a Mardi Gras crew in New Orleans.
That very true. I've been to Mardi Gras once, and that
Oh,
is
here you go.
anybody. Yeah, anybody who's never experienced Mardi Gras, you must experience once in your
At
lifetime.
least once in your
Oh
lifetime.
yeah, absolutely. So, and I didn't even think about that, but Krewe is Mardi
Yes.
Gras. Yeah, absolutely. Ho did it change over time, the book, or did you kinda have that vision and you just stuck with it, and it the end product is pretty much what you had envisioned?
Yeah, the end product is pretty much what I had envisioned. I don't know if anything really changed too much from that original writing. It's an alphabet book that has like short little sentences of alliteration for each animal is like doing an action,
Cute.
and it all starts with the same letter, but it's all like related to Louisiana. And I think once I saw Samantha's illustrations, that was super exciting. And now to like hold this physical copy is so special. And to have the book cover and, both of our pictures with our bios, and my daughter, it's her favorite book now. And her
I
favorite
was
page is
gonna
the
ask.
mom page, which is like the biography, which it's
Aw.
so sweet. It's really special.
Yeah, and, to be honest, that's gonna be a family heirloom for her to pass down for generations to come, so that's so wonderful. Are you gonna write a second one?
I hope so. I have like so many ideas in my head as far as like the next creations, if it's a kid's book or another movie, or I've been working on some music. So I'm not sure what's going to float to the surface next. I'm trying not to
Okay.
like put too much pressure on myself and just kind of allow the process. But absolutely, I hope to write many more children's books.
Fantastic. Well, I'm excited to see what comes next because what's come so far has been great,
Thank you.
and I just wish you the best of luck with everything. And thank you for talking with me today. It was wonderful, even with technical glitches. But
Eh,
anything else you'd like to say to people out there about any of your projects or the book, or besides go and buy it?
yes,
Um,
please go and buy it. You can find it on Amazon. Thank you, Allison, for your kind words. It was so nice talking to you as well. If anyone is interested in following Shapeless, the film, to
ah,
see where it goes and how they can watch it, you can follow the Instagram at Shapeless the film, and also my personal Instagram at Kelly Murtagh. And I will, of course, be posting all of the places that you can watch it once it's available, as well as anything else that's going on.
yeah. Well, don't slow down, please, because you got a lot of good stuff going on, and I'm sure more in that brain of yours. And again, thank you again. It's been wonderful talking to you. Hopefully, the next project we'll speak again.
Yes, would love that. Well, thank you very much. Great talking to you as well.